Hello and welcome. My name is Dmitry Markolov, aka at Dmitry Make Love, and you're listening to an episode of Faucets of Reality, a show in which we explore, learn about, and grow our understanding of what it is to be human at this time on Earth. Ever since I can remember, and it feels like forever, I have been fascinated with what all this is. Being, life, and the nature of reality in general. It is now my hope to traverse these different facets and expand consciousness together with you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you so much for being here. If you find that you enjoy listening, please subscribe, leave a 5-star review, and/or comment, as it shows the algorithm what I'm doing here is truly worthwhile and helps me reach more people. And with that, let's begin. Hi everyone, super excited to be here today. After a 2-week long hiatus, I didn't do an episode last week. I'm very excited for this one today. And just to mention, I think I'll be doing them every 2 weeks now, just because it really does take a lot to get these ready for you guys. All right, so let's go. This one is called the Shamanic Call. We're going to be talking about shamans today. One of my most interesting topics, faucets, I guess you can say, of reality. I really find a lot of enjoyment in researching about this, just thinking about it, just seeing what comes to mind when these certain, words are evoked. And so I want to start this one by evoking one of my most favorite people that has just enriched my life when I listen to him talk I could just listen to him for hours, and it's the late Terence McKenna. And so he wrote a book called Food of the Gods, and in it he says, "This is why the shaman is the remote ancestor of the poet and artist. Our need to feel part of the world seems to demand that we express ourselves through creative activity. The ultimate wellsprings of this creativity are hidden in the mystery of language. Shamanic ecstasy is an act of surrender that authenticates both the individual self and that which is surrendered to, the mystery of being. Because our maps of reality are determined by our present circumstances, we tend to lose awareness of the larger patterns of time and space. Only by gaining access to the transcendent other can those patterns of time and space and our role in them be glimpsed." Oh man, Terence is just a genius. He's just one of my favorite people that I've ever come across. He spearheaded a great movement which is only growing. He got degrees from Berkeley in California in ecology, resource conservation, and shamanism. To be honest, I don't know a lot of people who have degrees in shamanism, so I think this alone is just very fascinating. After his studies, he went on to live with and study many indigenous tribes all over the world. So he actually went to the Amazon and he lived with tribes and he got to know their ways, you could say. He was also a proponent of using psychedelics or medicinal plants to enrich our lives, ascribing them as an integral part of what it is to be human at all. Some of argued that we evolved with these plants. We have receptors in our bodies that, respond to these things quite powerfully, I might add. So let's get into the shaman, what that's all about. So I think the shaman archetype is as interesting as and as mysterious. He's as interesting as mysterious. So I would like to shed some light for people in hopes that we could all level up our lives and bravely explore as of yet unknown areas in order to expand our understanding of who we are, why we are here, and what is possible. The shaman or medicine man or woman is found in ancient tribes and communities throughout the whole world and still to this day. The shaman has been around for all of human history since the beginning of time. There was always this mystic who played a very important role for the community as having access to the other world, as it's called. This is the world beyond. It's been referred to as the Twilight Zone, the land of the dead. There's many names for it, but basically, there's this world that's in parallel to our, everyday, uh, kind of mundane world that we live day to day. There's another world that is beyond it. And I think that it's the same place we go when we dream, for example. Like in our dreams, we are in this other world, and it's very hard to a lot of times the boundary is there, and it's hard to kind of cross over. And this is exactly what the shaman did. He dissolved the boundary, as Terence McKenna would say. It's very boundary dissolving. So, you know, uh, between worlds, basically. So this shaman character, this shaman archetype would usually live on the fringes of society, not exactly right in town, so to speak, but a bit off to the side. Basically on the border, on that boundary of the known world, which would be like inside the known, village area where everyone would usually spend their time, and the unknown or the outside of that, where, there's darkness and it was dangerous to go out there. You didn't want to stray too far from your village, from what is known. Again, I'm just saying this to bring forth the idea that, our minds are still kind of, um, they're still playing on these ideas. I mean, we're very much condensed into that kind of reality where there's a known, there's what is known, and then there's what is unknown. There's the known, then there's what we know we don't know, and then there's what we don't know that we don't know. So it's an infinite world out there of all kinds of things. um, and so the shaman basically had footing in both the worlds. He relayed messages from the divine, so to speak. So any and all would seek the shaman out for all types of purposes, ranging from giving blessings to a certain hunt, for example. Should we go and hunt this animal? Uh, these are big questions that we needed answers to. And the shaman would sometimes play the role of giving the blessing of, this is the right thing to do. And it wasn't based on his own, personal ego or something like that. It was more that he got a feeling for it. He got an inspiration from, again, the other world. The other world will tell him, the world outside of time and space, in this place where all the things are known already. The connection to it is very subtle, and the shaman would basically play that role. So you could say that he also healed, and he could soothsay or have divination, and he would use these things to basically answer questions that would otherwise be unavailable to the everyday mundane mind. Um, so I mean, this goes to show that all religions, all spiritual traditions, they are based on this prototype of a character, the specific person that lived in the village that was a bit weird, a bit strange. People didn't fully understand him, but they held a great reverence and a great respect for this person. Um, so this character had otherworldly powers. They could speak directly with the divine or God, and give messages of healing to the people, so to speak. I'm reminded of The Hero's Journey by Joseph Campbell. He basically outlined this archaic path that all heroes travel in all stories, and I think that hero is also the shaman. You would go to the forest, you would fight a great dragon in order to save the people, save the community. There was a great quest that he had to do. The shaman is very much like that also. So, he was connected to the other world. The shaman would be uh, someone who would practice things that in the modern world we term as medicine, as art, science, technology, knowledge of the great beyond and how everything was connected. I think these days these things are coming up again, and it's very important we get in touch with these sorts of things. The shaman also performed sacred rites and ceremonies like coming of age rites, or visionary quests, or but even as much as like when someone was born or when someone died, they would be passing from that world into ours or out of this world. Marriage is also something that I believe the shaman kind of orchestrated and helped perform these ceremonies. But mostly this healing, quote unquote, it happened through things like music, art, and storytelling. And these are also all forms of trance, or again, the shaman is known to go into a trance like state and to channel directly from the divine realms, the higher realms. That is to say that today, how does this help us? Well, I think that the simple act of telling a story, or painting a picture, or moving to dance, for example, these things can enact healing or understanding. I think they're very similar, healing and understanding. When you understand, you heal. Very simple. Well, depending on the situation, it's simple. It might seem complicated, but I do believe most things are simple. They should be simple, at least. Sometimes the shaman would take medicinal plants intentionally to have a vision. So it wasn't that, he was just trying to get high or something, but there would be an intention. There would be some great question that really needed answering that we couldn't access in our normal waking state. Um, and I'm not saying, I don't think we need to take any sort of plants or medicinal, I don't think we need medicine, really. I think we can each be our own shaman. And the greatest place to find these answers is in the dream world, through dreams. So before going to bed, you ask a question, you fall asleep, and in the morning, you will know the answer. So, but at the same time, there's a great tradition of these medicinal plants that Terence McKenna actually conservated. He bought land in Hawaii in order that this sacred knowledge that was kept for thousands of years in these tribes, it would not get lost due to ignorance of modern people who don't, I guess, put a lot of meaning to these things, but they were very important and still are. And so sometimes, in order to go into this trance, certain herbs were taken, and plants in general is just something that we evolved with. I mean, it's our food. It's not like it's good or bad. It's just that it is. It's something that is a very big part of what it is to be human. So, I remember, I don't know if you remember The Lion King. There was that monkey, Rafiki. So he played the role of the shaman for that group of animals. He basically was a little strange, a little weird. He moved and talked funny, but he had these ways about him. He had these certain things that he could do that kind of bestowed a blessing, and he could look into the stars for answers. I think that Rafiki was someone that is very interesting. Um, he was strange and mysterious. So, I mean, I think that the shamanic archetype has been with us all along. We are all indebted to this archaic spirit as he lives within us. I'm pretty sure, I mean, I solemnly believe that we all have a deep memory of this wisest sage within us who would bless and heal. So, nowadays, especially in the past 5 years, the interest in psychedelics is at an all-time high. I think that, psychedelics and pharmaceuticals also are things that we assuage great power to these days. And they are the modern medicinal herbs that literally adapt us to changing times and conditions. So it is something to be very, I think, cautious about, not something to you know, just take. I mean, doctors are kind of, they play a role that the shaman would play. They play one of the many roles in that we come to the doctor to heal us because he knows a lot about, physiology or what have you, or whether it's psychiatry. Oh, I'm having this condition. Well, here, take this pill and it'll be better, right? Well, I don't think that's exactly how it works, but a lot of people do follow this type of healing. And I just want to say that the arts, like theater, poetry, and song, and the sciences, like physics and chemistry, they all explore new realms of possibilities that otherwise would be hidden. I think that's what's really important to note here is that there are answers out there. We just have to explore it. We have to be courageous to step into the unknown, to places we haven't been to before. If we can do that, You know, it's like that saying that uh, the universe favors the bold, or also, Terence McKenna loved this idea that those who are courageous, the universe opens up a path for them. And I think courage comes from, you know, seeing a path that maybe others aren't taking, going into areas that might seem dangerous, something you're afraid of, but doing it anyway, staring it in the eyes and just going forth. That's courage. So to wrap it up, the shaman is a very important archetype. I mean, there's so much more to say here. This is just, this is just one podcast. This is just one talk that I'm doing. I'm just one person. But I highly encourage you to look into it for yourself. The artists, science, um, sorry, the artists, scientists, and all types of healers of today are deeply connected to this sacred lineage of shamans. And it is now time for us all to become our own shaman and look out into the great unknown, to step into the great world that is beyond, in order to build a better future and to lead ourselves and each other into a world full of magic. All that is hidden shall be revealed. Thank you, and see you in 2 weeks. Hey, you made it to the end. You get a gold star. Seriously, thank you so much. You are supporting what I am doing here just by listening, and I appreciate that a whole lot. Remember to subscribe, and if for any reason you wish to reach out, I am on Instagram at Dimitri Make Love. That's DimitryMakelove. Have an amazing day. Remember, all is one. IO. And until next time.